5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Dr. Cooper, can you tell me a little bit, this is the first opportunity I've had to talk to someone about the CAFE standards. What happens to a manufacturer who does not meet those standards? Are they fined?
In the past, they have been fined, but it turns out they haven't frequently paid fines. They've been excused from fines. But that is part of the program, as the incentive to meet the standard is to pay the fine, and therefore it's
okay,
better to meet the standard.
I was suspicious that they were fined, whether they paid them or not, or however they worked out with those things. But what I don't understand is, from the free market, if your statistics were correct, that people want cars to have 60 miles per gallon, why aren't they manufacturing them then? And why is it that the federal government is going to step in and say, we know better than the public? If the public really wanted cars at 60 miles, can't they buy them?
Well, in point of fact, the supply side of the automobile market is not perfect. And so you had American manufacturers who completely missed the shift in demand, and they kept manufacturing gas guzzlers because their rate of profit internally is higher on gas guzzlers than it is on efficient cars. And now, having gone through bankruptcy, GM has reproduced itself, recreated itself as an efficiency-oriented company. They've said they will meet the 60 mile per gallon. Toyota has said they will meet the 60 mile per gallon. So a standard, here's what a standard does. It takes the risk out of investing in those technologies, because they now know.
I'm going to be, if I could recover here some time on it, I like the idea of having cars that have 60 miles, but I think that should be my choice as a consumer and not the federal government. Honestly, I tell you, I can't find anything in here, in the Constitution, that allows us this right to tell the public or tell the manufacturers. Can you share with me what section of the Constitution, where would I find that in there that says we're going to set the standards for automobiles?
Well, as interpreted by the courts, for at least in the case of fuel economy standards, for 40 years. Could
you just get back to me on that if you don't
I'll be glad to give you the legal history of why it is that the government can protect the American people. So now, every time you consume a barrel of oil, you're sending a troop to the Middle East. 60 mile per gallon car, but you're going to put more people at risk, because you know very well that individuals that are injured, that are in impact accidents in smaller vehicles to achieve your ideologically driven motivation is more highly likely to be injured in an accident. So absolutely not.
You know that.
Absolutely not. This standard does not require rate reduction, and if it did require weight reduction, it would be with high-strength materials. Science has produced much stronger materials that weigh less. So there is absolutely no reason to believe that is the case.
You're not denying that there are more injuries in smaller cars. Is that what you're trying to tell us, this panel, that you're safer in a small car to get? You're saying today, your priority is to getting gas mileage rather than for the safety of your children.
With airbags, you're safer in a smaller car today than you were in a bigger car 30 years ago. With seat belts, which the industry never gave us, let's talk about seat belts. Now, there's a government program that infringed your freedom to sit in a car without a seatbelt and impose all kinds of costs. Are you against seatbelts? Absolutely not. There are millions of Americans alive today because the government decided that seatbelts and airbags were good for you.
I just look forward to you tell me where this section is.
You didn't know well enough. You didn't know enough to know that you needed a seatbelt or an airbag. So we helped you out.
Gentleman yields back
this time. Think about it. Tell your constituents that they really should be in cars without those safety features. The industry never gave us those. At least the regulations.
At least we have some enthusiastic witnesses, which I think is important.
Mr. Chairman, and I think it's been our practice that the witness should be allowed to answer the question. So you cut him off in the middle of his answer.
Oh, Dr. Cooper, do you want to make another statement?
No, that's obviously there's a philosophical difference here. And I got millions of live people who are actually better off because we told them to wear seatbelts.
Well, we want to have lively hearings, and we appreciate your being here. Now, Mr. Daniels, it's my understanding that as much as you don't want to leave, you need to leave.